military, so for us, you have to meet a certain height and weight, and I've invested a lot of time in there, 14 years. So and when you don't meet the height and weight 3 times, you're out. So the older you get, the harder it becomes to make the weights. And so what my plan was is to pass my physical readiness test and get through the weight, and I barely got through it. So at that time I talked with my wife, and we made a plan to get through this and then to come here and get help. So I can make weight, but also I had high blood pressure, so it was a change so I could lose the weight and be at where I should be, in accordance with my index. And so it was a health reason, and it was for a job reason, that, because if we don't make height and weight, that's it. There's no more in the military. That's the reason why I did it. I finished surgery about an hour ago.
And what kind of surgery?
I had a plication. I've recovered quickly. I was up walking around, right after surgery, and sitting up, and when I weighed in at 260 pounds, but there was a few people in there that said, "Why are you getting the surgery? You look too skinny." But I wear my weight well, so it doesn't look like, I'm that heavy, but I am. So when I was there, they kind of teased me about, like, why would you get the surgery? But it's for the long term, because the older I get, the harder it's going to be, and the higher my blood pressure is going to get, and the bigger I'll get, and the harder the process is going to be to get done, and the older you are, the worse it is to recover. So it was a simple process that I'm glad I did, and I'm a week out. I wouldn't do this interview if I wasn't happy about doing it.
And I think it's good that people understand too, even when we went there on Friday, the people that were getting the lap band done or the gastric plication done, they looked at me and Zach, and they're just like, well, you guys don't look like you need it. You don't. Well, they understand is that just because we're taller people too, so we carry our weight differently. So I may look thinner than, I don't, people never told me that I looked like I was 220 pounds when I weighed that, but the fact of the matter is I was. And I would guess that not only the morbidly obese people need the surgery, and I think that's what people need to understand, is everybody's shaped differently, and people are going to carry their weight differently and everything like that. And I guess it is kind of a judgment that people do. At the beginning when I got my lap band, I was kind of like, oh, I'm not going to tell anybody and stuff. But once I started seeing like my results and happier with myself and my life, like I ended up telling some people. I was like, yeah, I got it, and I'm happy I did it, and things like that. The military definitely was one of the main reasons why I did it, because I realized what my weakness was, and my weakness was food, and I didn't want to lose my career, and I didn't want to take a gamble with what I've built for myself, because I was having issues, keeping a cheeseburger out of my mouth.
Yeah, you take it away, I can show you how big I can get.
Yeah, you want to take this off, I'll show you.
It won't take that long.
But and that was one of the things. I realized that I didn't look morbidly obese, but according to my body mass index, I was, and I was just, I guess I didn't play around. I realized what I had to do, and I did it. And I don't know, I guess military training comes into that too. You just know what you got to do, and you do it.
A lot of it is we may be still young in our 30s, but what happens at 50 or 60? I'm not going to be running like I'm running now. It's not even close. So it's a long-term decision. It's not the short term. It's not I'm going to go on a quick fad diet. It's what do I want for my future.
You have to think ahead. You have to. There's no other choice.
It was a long-term decision. Right now, that's what I think of it as.
Yeah, we don't have any kids now and stuff like that, but it's kind of like we're making a decision for them also. We want to be the healthy parents, so maybe if somebody would have taught us how to eat correctly, then maybe we wouldn't have been in the predicaments that we were, and then when we have children, we will be healthier and more active, so we'll be able to, maybe they won't have to go through this. And
I basically did this for my future. It's kind of like people how they get their retirement fund. Well, this is how I get to live longer. I won't have to worry about getting high blood pressure. You know, as long as I keep my weight down and follow what they need, and I think it'll be, you know, if we did an interview 10, 15 years from now, I'll probably be exactly where I need to be.